Your Excellency, I'll be very brief. You directed us 2 years ago to start uh, getting all of us together at the beginning of every year to review our performance in the previous year and prepare for the year that is beginning. My first report to you, sir, is that we have had 2 days of reflection in line with your directive, and we have drawn the lessons that we did from our work last year. On my own behalf and on behalf of my colleagues in the sector, I want to thank you most sincerely, Your Excellency, for your solid leadership and your guidance in this sector. I say this advisedly because I know, and the heads of the agencies who are here, like the Inspector General and the others, know how privileged and lucky we are that in addition to the responsibilities you have bestowed upon us, you are constantly in touch with us, and we are a sector that on virtually a daily basis, you guide and you require us to report on the work that we do. I want to thank my colleagues for the work that has been done and report to you, sir, that most of the assignments you gave us last year have been complete. The teams before you, sir, worked on the Huduma number registration, supported the Ministry of Planning to mount the census, supported our good friend Professor Magwan, the education sector, to successfully mount exams. And Your Excellency, our country is secure and safe because of the hard work that these men and women put in. We thank you, sir, because of your constant interest in ensuring that we get more resources. We feel very well supported, and most of what you have required of us, Your Excellency, we keep working at it. We've drawn a program for this year, again, further to your directives, and I am sure my colleagues and I would now like to get your final marching orders as we move forward during this year, 2020. I have emphasized, and I'm sure, Your Excellency, this has become now our beginning of the year marching order, because you said this is going to be a year of action and implementation. These good people asked me to tell you this, and this is my last point. They asked me to tell you that we in the security sector are present, we are prepared, and we are ready to deliver on the work that you have given us. I hope IG have used the words you gave me very well. We are present, we are ready, we are prepared, and we are going forward to deliver on the assignments that you have given us.
New year, and as always, begin by thanking you because as every other Kenyan was relaxing and enjoying themselves, they managed to do so because of the work that you are doing during that period, and we truly appreciate and are very grateful and thankful for everything that you do. So, ladies and gentlemen, I take this very early opportunity to thank all of you for the work that you are all doing each and every day, safeguarding Kenyans and the country at large, so that Kenyans can continue to enjoy peace and to go about their businesses without fear because of the service that you offer. Indeed, as the Minister has said, last year we met and we gave tasks for the year. And I have followed very closely the progress made and how we have all performed. I take this opportunity to say that I am indeed happy with how you have undertook your work, how you have performed. However, as it is always said, success does not mean that we rest on our laurels or, for that matter, become complacent. For the threats to our country are dynamic, and we must remain vigilant, indeed in this year and in every coming year. thank you, Waziri, for organizing this second edition of our annual National Security Review and Planning Conference. It is useful for us to review what we have done, for us to assess challenges that we are facing, but most importantly, what additional measures we need to take to ensure that our citizens are secure in light of the tremendous benefits of this conference. And indeed, as we said last year, and I confirm once again, this exercise shall be an annual exercise. Our most grave national security challenge, as you all know, is terrorism. And indeed, I applaud the efforts made by our multi-agency structure to preempt a very large number of planned attacks and terrorist operations. And I also recognize and applaud the individual acts of bravery by security officers who have faced the enemy directly and showed immense resolve, that did the officers, their agency, and indeed our nation proud. National security challenge, as you all know, is terrorism. And indeed, I applaud the efforts made by our multi-agency structure to preempt a very large number of planned attacks and terrorist operations. And I also recognize and applaud the individual acts of bravery by security officers who have faced the enemy directly and showed immense resolve, that did the officers, their agency, and indeed our nation proud. Last year, I did indeed task the county commissioners and police commanders to upscale the intensity and efficacy of our security work and coordination. I did indeed ask you to hold more barazas to increase information flow from the public concerning terrorist operatives, recruiters, and propagandists, and this needs to be sustained, if not intensified, this year. In addition to you doing more to make communities feel safe from terrorist intimidation. This sense of safety and freedom from intimidation or retaliation from terrorist elements will encourage even more people to speak up and resist the tactics of terrorists. Last year, I ordered county commissioners to coordinate with the National Counterterrorism Center, headed by Ambassador Kimani, to ensure that every county has launched and is implementing a county action plan for the prevention and countering of violent extremism. I'm happy to note that that was indeed achieved. These efforts should rally our protection of communities, especially in the northeastern region and parts of the coast region, that, as we all know, have witnessed an escalation in terrorist attacks, typified by the targeting of public facilities, security officers, public transport vehicles, and critical infrastructure. The people of Kenya should rest assured that we will respond robustly and that our nation, Kenya, will and shall prevail. So to that end, today, I want to direct that the following actions be undertaken to immediately upgrade our response. Firstly, security officers are to mount operations to flush out terrorist operatives and all sleeper cells in our midst, especially in the northeastern and coastal regions. Secondly, all relevant officers, agencies, and personnel are to drive the determined implementation of the county action plans to prevent and counter violent extremism. Doing this will allow citizens to be more resilient against radicalization and terrorist propaganda. The implementation of these measures needs to be undertaken in a systematic and measurable way. And to that end, I will expect a report on the practical undertakings and efforts with respect to the same by the end of August of this year. The national government administrative officers and police are to engage local politicians, religious and opinion leaders within vulnerable communities as a proactive strategy to deny terrorism entry points into the radicalization, especially of our youth. They should utilize the prevention capabilities underlying the county action plans so as to ensure that local violent extremist networks and recruiters are denied, and I repeat, denied, any space to operate within communities. Lastly, I want you to further synergize the efforts, capabilities, and resources of national government administrative officers and the National Police Service to deliver on the common mandate of ensuring public safety and security for the country. As I said last year, there can be no longer room for silo mentality in our quest to make Kenya safer. Coordination and leveraging on synergies and economies of scale will ensure that our resources are optimally utilized and deployed. Indeed, I do believe that we have more than enough officers, and we are continuing to add equipment, that if we coordinate and cooperate, we can eliminate this evil. I want to be clear that those who shall continue to insist on silo mentality and resist working in a coordinated way within a multi-agency structure that has been set up should be reported, and action will be taken against them. There should be an immediate restoration and securing of affected key government services in education, health, public transport, and communication infrastructure in the affected regions.